A few of my favorite things in COD Zombies are the main Easter eggs, the side Easter eggs, and the secrets. But what I like even more is when these Easter eggs and references cross over to different game modes. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you every single time COD Zombies appears in the multiplayer game mode. For this video, I'll only be covering Treyarch titles, but if you guys want to see non-Treyarch games included in a future video, please let me know down below. And also, if I miss anything, please leave a comment down below so I can include it in a future video. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this. Now, before we go any farther, there's one thing I have to cover within this video, just so that we're all on the same page. And I'm going to do that while we're talking about the first game of this video, World at War. For this video, like the title says, I'm going to be covering zombies related Easter eggs within multiplayer, but I'm also going to showcase reused assets as well, because throughout the entirety of Call of Duty's lifespan, they've been reusing assets for almost everything, and it's most prevalent in the OG COD games. Because, for example, on World at War, you can find Noctir and Toten all throughout the game, not just in zombies. And in multiplayer, it makes an appearance on the map Airfield. And on the map Asylum, you can almost play the entirety of Verrückt. Obviously, these maps are a little bit different, but back in the day, it was way easier to take something that was already made and repurpose it. And that is no different in the map Nightfire, which is actually really cool because you get to explore the unused areas of Der Riese. But I just had to mention this before we go any farther because I know I'm going to get people in the comments being like, oh, well, they're just reusing assets. It's not a zombie Easter egg. I'm not going to be covering every single asset reused throughout Call of Duty. This video would be like 20 hours long. But I just had to preface this before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video. But with that being said, moving on over to Black Ops 1, on the map Discovery, you can find the zombies power switch. Now, while it doesn't have a hand on there for good reason, it is 100% the power switch from COD Zombies. On Nuketown, if you make your way upstairs to either house and look at the books that are on the shelf, you can see that one of the books is written by Edward Richtofen. Now, this doesn't just pertain to Nuketown. These books are scattered all throughout the multiplayer maps, but I think the most infamous case of this is on Nuketown. Now, moving on over to Firing Range, for some reason, this map has the most zombies-related material. Firstly, you have these please wait flags in multiple locations around the map. Now, obviously, this is a literal firing range, so telling people to please wait does make sense. But these flags are also found on the Pack-a-Punch machine, which is really cool because I just never noticed these while playing Firing Range back in the day. And a prime example of reusing assets is this weapons crate that you can find near the spawn, which obviously the OG mystery box is just a weapons crate, but it's still cool to find these kind of things scattered throughout multiplayer. But if you thought that was it for Firing Range, there's one more that's actually related to zombies. Right behind the weapons crate, if you take a sniper and look at these bullets, you can see that they say Tank Dempsey. On the map Hangar 18, if you make your way to the middle of the map, you'll notice that this area shares a lot in common with the zombies map Moon. But not only that, you could also see the same banner hanging that says greetings from Groom Lake, Nevada. And to wrap up BO1 on the multiplayer map Convoy, if you come into this room right here, you can find magazines of the Space Monkeys from Ascension saying, what the hell is that? But not only that, you can also find another magazine saying Space Race with a photo of Ascension. But that's all for Black Ops 1, moving on over to Black Ops 2. On the map Takeoff, if you come into this room near the back of spawn, you can find some spacesuits. While these aren't entirely the exact same from Moon, they are the same model. Now, obviously, they have some different colors and different graphics on them, but they are the same ones from Moon. Now, for this next one on Express, I did have to be corrected, or I guess I had to clarify from a comment on one of my more recent videos. But if you come up to this map, you'll see that you're in California. And if you look at the destination list, you'll see that one of the stops is Hanford. Now, this could purely be a coincidence because Hanford, California is a real place, but also transit takes place in Hanford, Washington. So do with this what you want to. But not only that, on Express, you can find a post-it note that says zombies are coming. Now this is not only found on Express, it's actually on Standoff and a few other maps. And I don't know if this is directly related to COD Zombies, but why else would there be a post-it note that says this if it's not related to zombies? Let me know what you think down below. To finish off Black Ops 2 on the multiplayer map Mirage, you can find the dragon statues from Die Rise, which actually makes a lot of sense because both of these maps released in the same map pack back in the day. Now moving on over to Black Ops 3, this is where things really start to pick up and we find more true Easter eggs relating to COD Zombies instead of, the assets that we've seen in the previous games. But on the map Combine, right outside of spawn, if you look at this photo hanging on the wall, it's actually the blueprints of the wave gun from Moon. And on the map Metro, if you make your way to this cafe that's in the middle of the map, you can find perk bottles from zombies. And what's even more interesting about this one is that you can find the Tombstone bottle, which is really funny because Tombstone isn't even in Black Ops 3. On the map Aquarium, if you come to this little room outside of spawn and look on the shelf, you can find a Dr. Monty's chocolate bar. Now these are scattered all throughout Black Ops 3 with the campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. And this is not the last time that we'll see them. Once again, on the map Evac, you can find the lion statues from Die Rise. On the map Hunted, if you look above this door frame, you can find a Bowie knife. Now this one actually makes a lot of sense for being on the map Hunted if you just take a look around the room. At first glance, you wouldn't even think twice about this being here. On the map Splash, if you come to Atlantis Riptide and look into this area that you cannot access, you will find statues of the Primus crew. But not only that, if you make your way outside of the building, you will find statues of the entirety of Primus crew, but for some reason they're gold. I'm not 100% sure why these are on the map. It is a nice little Easter egg, but if you think you know why, let me know down below. But staying on Splash, once again, if you come into this room by the back of spawn, you can find another Dr. Monty's chocolate bar. On the map Gauntlet, if you come over here to the city section of the map, I guess you could call it, and look at this poster, you'll see that it's by Morgue City Films, aka Shadows of Evil, which this poster is very fitting for something that would come from Shadows of Evil. On the map Micro, once again, we can find something from Dr. Monty's, but this time it is not a chocolate bar. It is Dr. Monty's cream soda. Now, what's really cool is you can actually look at the back of the bottles and see the ingredients that are listed. And you'll see that there's uranium, there's a little bit of protein, some sugar, some not sugar. It also says that this drink is not good for you and you might as well just not drink it, but it's only 500 calories. So this seems like something that I would drink right early in the morning. But moving on over to the map Infection, this map by far has the most zombies related Easter eggs within Black Ops 3. First of all, if you look out in the distance by spawn, this house is rumored to be Samantha Maxis's. Now, I don't know how true this is. I tried looking around finding some information. Some people were saying yes it is, some people were saying no it's not, some people were saying you're smoking drugs. I'm not 100% sure. If you guys know anything about this, leave a comment down below. But not only that, if we make our way into this building that's by mid, we can find photos that are from the Shadows of Evil boxing gym. And not only that, we can also find gloves on top of this shelf. If you make your way down here to where it literally just says restaurants on the wall, you can see Holly's cream cakes, which are actually the cream cake carts in Shadows of Evil. And not only that, if you make your way a little bit further, on top of this piano, you can find the fumigator from, once again, Shadows of Evil. And not only is there one fumigator, if you make your way a little bit farther into this other building, you can find 2 more fumigators within this room. But if you thought that was all, you are surely mistaken, because if you make your way into this building that's right in mid, you can find a map of Derice, or for Black Ops 3, it's the Giant. And not only that, if you make your way out of this building and over to this other building, you can find the Derice/Giant sign on the wall. Now that's all for Black Ops 3, moving on over to Black Ops 4. Starting off Der Schatten. This is probably one of the most obvious zombies related Easter eggs that we've ever had in multiplayer, because this map literally takes place below Der Eisendrache. Because you can see Der Eisendrache off in the distance, you can see that a robot crashed into the town, you can even see the robot's head. And not only can you see the robot's head, you can actually go inside of it and activate this little trap. It doesn't really do much, it just moves the robot's finger or something. I mean, you could potentially kill somebody in a match with this thing. It's not really that great, but it's still really cool nonetheless. Then not only did the robot take out half the town, you can go inside of the robot's head. But not just the robot's head, you can actually walk through pieces of the robot, which is just insanity. But that's not all for Der Schatten. If you make your way over to the trams and stand by this control panel for long enough, you will hear quotes from the Primus crew.
Back off, freak bags. He may be a jerk, but he's our jerk. Yeah, I find that ridiculous expression of your face. You have sharp eyes, Richthofen. Keep them open.
And if you make your way over to this side of the map, you can find a statue of Tank Dempsey. And not only that, you can find a plaque underneath it that's written in Austrian. And when translated, it reads, "The Great Destroyer of Maggot Sacks. When great evil strikes, he returns to crush the wicked." Which is just super awesome. It's pretty much just idolizing Tank Dempsey within this map. But that's not even the last thing. If you make your way into the town section of the map, you can find literal zombies trying to break into the map. And yes, you can kill them, but unfortunately, you do not get points. And not only that, I don't know if this is a callback to the Black Ops 2 teddy bear that just moves around occasionally, or if it's just a zombified teddy bear. But you can find this teddy bear that starts banging on the glass that's trying to escape. Next up, we have the biggest homage to COD Zombies ever in a non-COD Zombies mode. We have the multiplayer map Remnant. Now I'm going to lump this into one section of the video because there is just so much to cover on this map. If you own Black Ops 4 and have the DLC or Season Pass, I highly recommend you just take a stroll through the museum because it is really cool to see everything in there. But some of the more notable displays that they have the Titanic, or, Voyage of Despair. They have an entire section dedicated to transits, and they have a huge display for the moon. But there's so much within this map, I didn't want to jam up like 20 minutes of this video just talking about one map. So if you own Black Ops 4, I highly recommend go take a look around. Moving on over to Havana. If you come to the theater and look at the posters, you can see that they are directly related to zombies, with one being titled Origin. Obviously this is in Spanish, but it's featuring Dempsey, Nikolai, Richthofen, and Takio. And once again, there is another one featuring the same crew. But not only that, you can find this poster that reads, I apologize, my Spanish is horrible, reads Sombras del Mal, which translates directly to Shadows of Evil. If that's not damning enough, I don't know what is. Moving on over to the map Artifact, you can find an Odin perk statue that looks like it's stuck in the ice and that it's being excavated. And lastly, on Black Ops 4, there is a cosmetic for the operator Prophet called Dark Space, and within his skin, you can find the dog from Moon, which is on Black Ops 3. Now, if I own the cosmetic, I'd be able to show you, but unfortunately I do not. You will just have to take my word for it. Hey guys, really quickly, I'm on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so if you can drop a like and subscribe, that helps out a ton. Anyways, back to the video. Moving on over to Cold War, on the multiplayer map Cartel, you can find the infamous red truck, which is from Transit, Nuketown, and pretty much every single COD Zombies game. Now moving on over to the map Pines, this map has so many references to COD Zombies. And honestly, I think that they put every single reference Easter egg in this map that they kind of ran out of material because there is literally nothing else on Cold War that I could find. Like I said before, if I missed anything, please let me know down below. But when you first spawn into the map, you can find this movie poster titled 2 Days on the Moon. Now I might be reaching a little bit, but this could be related to the map Moon, but I don't really see it other than the title. But speaking of movie titles, if you look up here on the board, you can see one that's named Dragon Castle. And that's really telling me that they're trying to say that this is Der Eisendrache. But not only that, they have one that says the Giant's Teacup. Once again, I could be reaching, but it could be referencing the Giant, aka Der Reese. But if you make your way into the CD shop and crank up your audio, you can hear the song Archangel from Origins, which I'm not going to play it due to copyright. And if you make your way into Frentzer's and look at these keychains, you can find the Burger Town mascot. Now I know Burger Town dates all the way back to the early days of Modern Warfare, but I believe the mascot was not introduced until Advanced Warfare Zombies. If you make your way into the arcade and turn up your audio, you will hear a remix of Damned. But not only that, if you look at the pinball machines, you can find one that's titled Der Eisendrache. But not only that, you can find a comic book with the intro cutscene of DE as well, which is just super, super awesome. But not only that, if you make your way over to this other pinball machine, you will see that it's called Monkey Bomb, and obviously has a couple photos of monkey bombs from COD Zombies. If you make your way into Brookman's, once again, turn up your audio because it is playing the elevator music from Classified. And not only that, you can find the Matryoshka dolls on the shelf. And outside the arcade, you can find a poster on the wall that references Dead Ops Arcade. But that's all for Cold War. Moving on over to BO6. On the map Rewind, if you look on top of this sign, you will see that it says Liberty Plaza. And not only that, if you take a sniper and look at this billboard outside of the map, you can see that it says Welcome to Liberty Falls, implying that Rewind literally takes place within Liberty Falls. But obviously there's no zombies and crazy stuff happening. But if you make your way into the movie rental store, well, once again, you can find the movie 2 Days on the Moon. But not only that, if you come up this computer, you can find a post-it note that says Sam with a phone number, emergency only. Now this one might be a little bit of a reach because it could just be referencing some random person named Sam, but also a lot of people believe that it's referencing Samantha Maxis. But unfortunately, this is all I could find on Black Ops 6's multiplayer. I think they used up all of their mojo on the side Easter eggs within COD Zombies and a couple references within the campaign and kind of just ran out of material for the multiplayer mode. But like I said in the intro, if I missed any, please let me know down below because I love these Easter eggs within multiplayer and I would love to have a reason to make a part 2. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please drop a like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the video down below. And like always, I'll see you guys next time.